Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. For any of you guys that are new here, my name is Levi. Now, I know you guys probably want to get into today's video now. You guys are like, hold up. Why are you running right now? And the reason being is because I have a few announcements for my channel. I really suck, honestly, keeping you guys informed about a lot of things because I think a lot of you guys don't follow me on Instagram, and that's where I post a lot of my updates. So then I forget about YouTube. I'm like, oh yeah, in my brain, I'm like, I already got it done with. So yeah, I got a couple updates. So we're gonna be doing a giveaway. So some of you guys know KillBuillt has a new drop coming out on the 4th. No, not the 4th. Let's not get too excited there. On the 5th of July. So there's going to be a drop that day. I have very limited stock on these items because some of you guys know I've been doing drop pop-ups in Seattle and all across my state. So very select few items. So if you guys want to cop something off of that drop, be sure you get something because, again, the stock is very limited. To win the giveaway, essentially, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go down below and comment your favorite item on KillBuilt's website, and then go give me a follow on Instagram. By doing that, you automatically get enrolled into the entry for winning anything on KillBuilt's website. One item, whatever choice it is, I ship it to you, everything's free. So that is the giveaway. That is the first announcement. And second announcement, just because we're here, I ran a 39-minute and 31-second 5-mile run after being jet lagged. I haven't done cardio for over a week now and haven't been really lifting much or anything. And I guess that just goes to show you that your mind is really so freaking strong. That was my little motivational spiel for the day. Now let's get into today's video. All right, now I want to mention a few things about this video and why I decided to make this video. So first and foremost, it's because someone asked down below in the comments, and when you guys ask questions or you guys comment stuff on my videos, I always answer, or I make videos like I'm literally doing right now. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because I don't want you guys to be afraid to ask questions or ask comments on my YouTube, because I want to be able to help you guys. Like, that is the whole reason I have this channel. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to inspire people. So when you guys ask questions and you guys leave comments, not only does it help the algorithm, but it helps me answer your guys' questions and comments, which just makes me feel better because I'm helping you guys out. And the next thing is because I feel like genetics are a very complicated thing. I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about them. And so I hope I can provide some clarity for you guys on this video. And the next and last thing is because I grew up with a father who was really into working out. And the only thing that I've ever known about him in terms of his fitness level is that he's been working out ever since I've been alive. And so just having the opportunity to have a father who is super into fitness and just has, I would say, elite level physical genetics, I feel like I have a lot more credibility to talk on something like this because I've also been able to compare my physique to his as I've worked out over the years. And so just having that as my background, again, I feel like I have a lot more credibility to talk on this, and him and I will discuss things later in this video. If you guys want to skip the part, go to it. I'm pretty sure you guys already know him and I are recording a segment on this video. Before him and I record a segment on this video, because we will in like just a couple hours, I do want to present to you guys some facts about genetics that him and I aren't going to talk about. And some of these facts include, we got the whiteboard out. We got to come up with a name for her. I don't have a name for the whiteboard yet. I do need like a rolling one. No offense to this whiteboard or anything, but just I want a rolling one really bad because just like holding it like this just doesn't do me any good. So code Levi will save you 10% off at checkout at KillBuillt and Transparent Labs, trying to get that money in to get a new whiteboard. But anyway, so genetics, what are they? They're literally what make up you. Like, genetics are what make you you. That's what you get from your parents. It's heritability. It's all that stuff. It's literally you at the end of the day. It's DNA. All that good stuff that you learned in biology in high school that you probably forgot. The first fact I have for you guys in terms of genetics and muscle growth or putting on muscle is that 30 to 85% of skeletal muscle and your strength is heritable. Now, what does that mean? Because I read that and was a little confused myself. So essentially, we have mom, and we have dad, and then there is you. You're a wee little lad. Now, for example, we're just gonna say that you're gonna inherit, for this example, 50% of the skeletal muscle that your parents, contribute to making you you. So that doesn't mean that you get 50% from your dad and then you get 50% from your mom and all of a sudden you have 100
heritability or muscle mass. No, it doesn't mean that, because then you'd be like a superhuman. It essentially means that whatever muscle mass you have, 50% of it was contributed from both your mom and your dad. I also like to use this example for height. Like, I can see that with my parents and me. Both my parents are short. I probably inherited like 100% of that from them, although I am an inch taller than my dad. I'm 5'8", he's 5'7". He doesn't like to admit it, but it's true. So that is that. Now, where does the other 15% come from to get like 100% of your skeletal muscle? Because there is like, you know, a limit on your skeletal muscle. There is a 100% threshold marker that you can reach. Now, where is that other 15% or 70%, depending on how much, again, you inherit? Well, I like to think that the other 15% or other 70%, you know, comes from something else that is genetic, like maybe your body's, you know, ability to absorb protein. Maybe you have a genetic factor in your body, in your gut, or something where you are able to absorb more protein than other people, making it easier for your body to put on muscle. And so that other 15%, you know, maybe comes from that and is able to put on more skeletal muscle because of that factor. I don't know exactly the fact, and I'm pretty sure a lot of scientists out there don't know exactly what it is, because I think there's so many factors. I think people forget as humans just like how intricate and complicated we really are, but our life seems so day-to-day and simple, even though we are very complicated individuals. I'm pretty sure my dad and I are gonna reiterate on this in like literally the next clip after this clip is done. But I do want to say that, you know, just because, let's just say both your parents are genetically gifted, just like mine are, I don't want you guys to think that you can just get away with not putting in the work and have a decent physique. Because it wasn't until that I actually started putting in the work that I got the physique that I felt like I should have had, or like the physique that I wanted to work toward. So I just want you guys to understand that just because you have parents that are, I would say, gifted, doesn't mean that you're going to look gifted. Sometimes you have to put in the work to actually, you know, get the results that you want. And that also goes for people that don't know if their parents are genetically gifted, because some people's parents don't work out and they've never been able to show, you know, their kid the genetic potential that they have. So I don't want you guys to get discouraged and go, oh, well, my parents aren't big, or, you know, my parents are super skinny and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, your parents might not even work out, so you don't even know like what their genetic potential is for putting on muscle. So essentially you don't know until you try it. And my dad is definitely gonna be talking about that in this next clip. As promised, I told you guys I was gonna ask my dad the questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram. If you guys aren't following my Instagram yet, please go follow my Instagram so you guys can be featured in these videos whenever I answer your guys' questions, or I ask my dad to answer your guys' questions, or whoever answers your guys' questions. So we have, I think, 4 questions in total. And the first one someone asks in regards to genetics is, you both seem to have very similar muscle genetics. Was your grandpa or his dad similar? If it wasn't your dad, who do you think you got your genetics from? Is there anyone in your family that lifts, or you know of, that lifted before you can kind of think of?
Nope, nobody. Like, you've seen my family. My dad was just an average Joe. You know, nothing, didn't work out or anything, so just dumb luck, I think.
What was another thing about grandma's pretty vascular. Your mom is very vascular.
She's vascular.
For a woman,
yeah.
I would say my grandma's very vascular for a woman.
She is vascular.
And so I think he gets a lot of vascularity from her. I don't know if vascularity is genetic though. I'd assume it is. Someone said, what do you think gives you like strong genes? What do you think like having more muscle is considered a strong gene?
I think that depends on the look and what you consider it. I mean, that's not for me to say what's a strong gene, what's not. That's an individual, man, how you feel about it. I mean, a strong gene as far as like working out is just I mean, for me, it's how it looks, how it functions. But that might not be the answer for everybody else.
Well, Pops, having your son come into his own physique, how much of yourself do you see in him, or how similar are our physiques?
Physiques are fairly similar. I'm just a little thicker, I think. Levi's definitely stronger than I think I was.
I won.
But I'm thicker. We have a lot of similarities, a lot.
Yeah. Do you think my joints are slightly bigger than yours? Like, I'm not as cut in the arms. I feel like I'm not.
Probably.
I was gonna say, I feel like
I probably have tighter joints.
I was gonna say, I feel like that probably attributes to a little more strength.
just because my joints are bigger, might be able to absorb more impact because of that.
A little more padding on the ligaments.
Yeah. Someone asked, like, what got you into lifting? He grew up in, like, the golden era age, so.
Yeah, I grew up in bodybuilding was actually cool. So no, I grew up, a friend's dad was a bodybuilder. You're watching all the action. People back in the day was like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. That was just the era I grew up in. It was badass.
Yeah, and then I had...
Oh, wrestling. We watched WWE. That was cool back in the day, and them dudes were ripped and them huge.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then even in baseball, everyone was, like, on
They were
gear
jacked.
and stuff. So I think just during that time... Well, I think steroids really entered in to, like...
Mainstream,
and so things started kind of taking off for there. All right, now I have some questions that you guys didn't ask, but I feel like you guys may want to know. Were you skinny before working out? Like, would you consider yourself a fairly skinny individual? Or you kind of like me? I feel like I was never skinny, but I was always just kind of...
just kind of average. I was like a $140.
Yeah, that's not... I would not consider that skinny in my opinion.
But that was, gosh, I mean, that was like, what, 10th grade?
Yeah. How long did it take for you to start seeing the results that you wanted? So not necessarily just results in general, but results that you were like, I'm actually pretty happy with the way I look? Or do you think it's kind of like one of those things that like you always get happy with like the next?
I was always physical, and I always just kind of had the look. Oh, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was just a matter of getting bigger. But when I was actually my happiest, where I felt like, okay, this is when I was probably like around your age or so.
Yeah.
Like that 22, 23, where I was like, all right, man, this is coming together this is how I want it.
And then the last question is, what would you recommend to someone out there who feels maybe discouraged about their genetics or they don't know their genetic potential? Because you're someone who didn't even know about their genetics, and that's a lot of people out there, and they might feel discouraged because like they hear a lot nowadays genetics are becoming a bigger thing in how like your physique is formed. So would you just say like it's out of your control? That would be my suggestion. It's like it's out of your control, just do the best you can.
It depends on how much you love and what your goal is when you lift weights and that. It is, if you think that you're gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but your genetics dictate you look like Big Bird, it's never gonna happen. I think you have to be real to yourself, you know what I mean? That's a tough one because I haven't experienced it, but I understand for others it can be extremely frustrating. Some people just love to work out. That's where I'm at now. I just love to work out. That's just what I do. All the other stuff doesn't matter. And I've known guys that did not have the genetic. They just liked the physical aspect and the challenge of that. And so those are the guys without the genetics. That's where they got to kind of hang their hat on. They work on the strength. They work this. They may never look like a freak, you know, but they can have something. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been discouraged like that, so I can't tell you. But maybe you focus on something else instead of just the look.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually a really good answer. Basically, if it's out of your control, find something that you like about it that you can hang on to, even if it's just the way that makes you feel. But that's it. That's all the questions.
All right.
That we had. All right, thanks, Dad.
Cool.
That was it. I hope you guys like that. I felt like those were really good questions. If you guys aren't following me, seriously, again, I'm going to reiterate this just because I feel like my YouTube fam and my Instagram family are so separated that a lot of the times when I ask questions that are going to be featured on YouTube, it's typically on Instagram. And some of you guys on YouTube might be like, oh, I don't remember asking that. Like, how come I didn't get asked a question? Just follow me on my Instagram and you guys will be able to be featured in more videos like that. But that was my dad's answers. I appreciate him being, I would say, willing enough to go out and do this for me. So really appreciate that. Bean's out of here too. She was going to answer some questions, but she's got to get her tan on. She's actually getting pretty dark. That was actually a pretty good joke. All right, but that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you guys did, be sure to give it a like. If any of you guys are new here, do not forget to press that subscribe button because you guys know we'll be back. And as always, die trying to do what you love. The sky's the limit. I'll see y'all in the next one.